You know how some manufacturers are really good at producing razzle-dazzle concept cars, and then when it comes to the production car that follows, it's all a bit dull? Well, I'm pleased to report that that's exactly what hasn't happened with the new electric Jaguar I-Pace. This is it. It's not a concept car. This is the real thing, and you can order one right now for just over £63,000, and that's before you've taken into account the £4,500 government grant. Right, first things first, let's take a proper look at the car, drink it all in. It is slightly narrower than the concept car, but I'm pleased to report this brave new set of dimensions has remained. It's all down to the fact that it's an electric car, and I'll show you why. You don't have a combustion engine under the bonnet anymore, so it doesn't need to be as long. That's why it's shorter, more squashed. That in turn means you can have a much longer wheelbase, and in an electric car like this, a longer wheelbase means more batteries. That's because they live under there, under the floor, in a long skateboard configuration. The other benefit of a longer wheelbase is more interior room, more space for your passengers back in there. The catchphrase that Jaguar is using is that this thing is as long as a Porsche Macan, but has the interior space of the larger Porsche Cayenne. Right, you want some numbers, don't you? We've got two electric motors here, one at either end, so it's four-wheel drive. It's a single-speed gearbox. In total, you've got 394 brake horsepower, and that means 0 to 60 in about 4.5 seconds, which is a full second quicker than the fastest V6 supercharged F-Pace. The battery is 90 kilowatt hours. They claim a range of 298 miles, but that's on the WLTP cycle. That's the new one, the harsher one that replaces the NEDC, so that's good news. And when it comes to charging this thing up, if you can find a 100 kilowatt rapid charger, well, it'll do 0 to 80% in just 45 minutes. More realistically, you'll probably have a 7 kilowatt charger to hand. That's the kind of thing you get in a home wall box. That'll top this thing up in 10 hours. In terms of how this car handles, well, I have absolutely no idea yet, but again, there are some good signs. The battery I mentioned earlier, well, that's an integral part of this new all-aluminium EV architecture that Jag has produced. So this is the stiffest car in the Jaguar lineup. And again, because of that battery slung way down low down there, the center of gravity is 130 millimeters lower than you get in an F-Pace. Oh yeah, like those fancy handles. Right, let's take a look in the back first, and if I use my patented slappy hand method, you can see that there's plenty of legroom here. There's also a full-length panoramic roof here, so it's a little bit like sitting in a goldfish bowl in a good way. And I should also mention there's 3 12-volt sockets and 6 USB ports dotted around this car, so if you're not quite achieving the range that you hoped from your Jaguar I-Pace, or perhaps you should point the finger at your kids charging their iPads in the back. Okay, if I hit this button, you can take a look in the boot too. Yeah, it's quite big back there. You'd think your dog will definitely approve. In fact, there's the exact same space here that you get in the F-Pace. I think I'm stuck. In the front here, it's like, well, any other high-tech Jaguar Land Rover modern product. That's to say it's got digital dials there, you've got the twin screen infotainment system. This car will get over-the-air updates just like the Tesla Model X, and you can even ask Alexa if you have an Echo Dot for updates on your car, the charging status, etc. But there are still some really nice bits of craftsmanship, some traditional details you might say, like these chunky metal switches for the gearbox, or these knurled dials for the aircon, or this metal trim on the steering wheel. Overall then, it might be electric, but it doesn't feel like a spaceship, this thing. It's just a car. Now, I know Tesla has been selling the Model X and the Model S for years now, but Tesla is a startup company designed to build and sell electric cars from scratch. This is one of the great British car companies that's having to completely reinvent itself. The I-Pace certainly isn't the first electric car to go on sale, but even so, it feels like the start of something big, doesn't it?